We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát cô ly khởi thác lạc, tất chân vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Tô Sư Chế Đô Ye La Hư Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tác Đắc Tha Tô Già Đà Già La Hà Đế Tam Miệu Tham Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual doctrines. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jie wen de xiao qi Yuan Jie Ru Lai Che Shi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Sutra, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good known advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、智者、大师、师父、上人，各位出家人，各位善知识，弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa trí giả đại sư Thượng Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sĩ Thích Ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 15th of November 2025. Thank you for joining our discussion of the Vimalakirti Sutra. We are on slide 489. This is the verses uttered by the elder son, the young man by the name of Bao Ji. So let's continue. The three turnings of the Dharma wheel in the great thousand worlds, the wheel itself is fundamentally always pure.
三转法轮于大千，其轮本来常清净。
All right, it refers to any way to move this? Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Three turnings of Dharma wheel. This refers to the Buddha's speaking the Dharma. Okay, when he first spoke the Dharma for our sake, for human realm, he spoke about the Four Noble Truths. This is a fundamental Buddhist wisdom. It's the foundation of Buddhist wisdom. That is, you need to understand about the three noble truths. These are the truths that cannot be changed. This is fundamental. Okay, and the three turnings of the Four Noble Truths. First turning is called revelation. Second turning is exhortation. Third turning is certification. Revelation, he says, he's revealing to us the nature of this truth, this suffering. This suffering tends to accumulate. And the third truth is that there is a way to get out of this truth, of this suffering, and that is called extinction. That's your state of liberation. When you are in a state of extinction of all your afflictions, then you will experience a nirvana bliss. You'll be truly happy. That's a revelation. So this is the first time ever in the human realm where the Buddha's wisdom was revealed. Okay? It is extraordinary. Okay? This is incredible wisdom. Until then, no one knew how to put an end to the suffering. No one at all. So this is right there, is the quintessential Buddhist teaching. We talk about the truth that is true to all of us, okay, to our existence, but it doesn't mean you should be depressed about it. Especially if you're suffering, you're from depression, you're suffering a lot. You should know that's just the nature of your existence, nothing to feel bad, because that's how it is in a Saha world, okay? And because if there is suffering, therefore the Buddha said, if there is suffering, I suffered like you, okay? And I figured out a way to get out of it, and so can you. I will teach you how. That's a revelation, okay? That second part is exhortation, is I will teach you. You should know there's a truth of suffering, and there is a truth of accumulation. Therefore, you should put an end to this suffering. Do not be a victim. Okay? And because of that, I have walked this path, this way that brought me to the extinction of my sufferings. So that's the exhortation. Therefore, you should do it too. If I can do it, so can you. Okay? And number 3 is that certification. He says that with this teaching I'm giving you, okay, I certify to you that I put an end to all your trouble, all your suffering, as it has done for me, it has done for all my disciples as well. So it's a very powerful statement right there. You certify that this is for real. It's not just my imagination or it's delusion, but actually not just me, but my disciples, countless of my disciples have also certified to this, just like me. Okay? It's such a powerful statement. Okay? And slide 491. So the Master Sutra explained this is the next 6 lines of the verses, divided into 3 parts. First 2 lines praise the turning of Dharma wheel. Next 2 lines praise marvelous benefits received by gods and humans. And the last 2 lines conclude the praise. Okay, so he's very detailed. This great Master Sutra. So what are this 3 turning of Dharma wheel? It's a truth about production and cessation in Varanasi. Okay, so the Buddha, he came to Varanasi, this city in India, and to talk about the 4 noble truths. Noble truths about production and cessation. Production is existence, cessation is nirvana or emptiness. All right? And Master Sutra explains it. This noble truth can be turned. So turn Dharma wheel meaning speaking, and therefore it's a wheel. Furthermore, so another meaning of the wheel is that it can destroy afflictions, like in our world, in human realm, there's a person called the universal monarch. Has the highest level of blessings among the humans, and he has many treasures. Okay, and he has this thing called wheel treasure. He can destroy all the vengeful enemies. In our world, there's a lot of angry people who are very upset. And this universal monarch, he rules over our world in the human realm, and he has all these treasures to help him do his job. Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. I really appreciate this commentary. This is the first time, maybe not the first time, but for me, it's the first time I'm understanding it this way. If I say this back to you, turning the Dharma wheel, I always kind of had in my mind like an old wooden ship and like the wheel of a ship with the spokes on top, because that's the image that I see for the Dharma wheel. It's like this. Yeah.
For some, it's like the stagecoach.
Yes, like the wheels on the stagecoach. But what I'm reading here is, or my takeaway is that turning the Dharma wheel is speaking the Dharma. Speaking the Dharma can destroy afflictions, including the vengefulness of your enemies?
Yes. So he speaks the Dharma to benefit everyone. Children, girls, boys. What happened to the boys? They disappeared. Anyway, see, he benefits everyone, not just adults, everyone. He speaks Dharma to benefit everyone. He does not discriminate. He's proven to benefit everyone. All right? And one thing very difficult to deal with is the vengeance mind. They're not willing to let go. And yet the Dharma can destroy that as well. Okay? For example, in our hands and eyes, hand number 6 is designed to handle your vengeful enemies. So not just the Dharma, you have many, many tools to deal with it. All right? Furthermore, the Dharma wheel of the Buddha can destroy afflictions. Okay? So he turns his Dharma wheel because it can crush all afflictions, all of your afflictions. So meaning what? When you're afflicted, what do? You hire a stagecoach. No? Yes, 9.
I'll speak for myself, Master. When I'm afflicted, I do stupid things.
No. Yes, 8. What's that's the right answer.
Recite mantra.
No. Oh God, why me? Anyone else have the answer? Do you have the answer? What do you do when you're afflicted? It's right here. Yes, go for us. Please give me the right answer. Please, please.
Wow, pressure. Listening to the Dharma.
There you go. Yes, 9.
Master, that's what you're supposed to do. You asked us what we do.
Oh, okay. Semantics. All right. So this is so interesting because when you're afflicted, instead of blaming others, instead of getting afflicted and make it worse for yourself, you should switch on the Dharma and listen to it. It will calm you down. That's all there is. Look at that. They point at each other. And that couple in the back. No, you do it. You listen to the Dharma. No, you listen to the Dharma. Okay? And okay, so the Buddha, this is what happened to the Buddha. After the Buddha became a Buddha, he says, I was afflicted just like these ordinary people, so now I figure out a way. So he went to Varanasi to speak Dharma for them. Okay, so he decided to go and share with them. So this herein lies another kind of mindset for the Buddhists. What do? When you have something that's good, we share it. We don't keep it to ourselves. We don't copyright it and charge money for it. But why shouldn't we? I'm tired of being poor. Never mind. Okay. So 3 turnings of the wheel. So revelation turning. Okay, and there are 4 truths: suffering, accumulation, cessation, or extinction, and the way. Second turning is a exaltation, and you should understand suffering. You should abandon accumulation. You should realize cessation. Meaning, if it's a good thing, make it happen for yourself. Okay, by practicing the way. Okay, number 3, the third turning, it says, don't worry. I'm not simply talking, okay? This has produced results for so many of us already, okay? Meaning that I certify that suffering is known, certified accumulation is abandoned, okay? And certify that cessation can be realized, and finally, I certify that the way is being practiced by so many of us throughout the universe, not just here in the US, but all over the universe. People are practicing, living beings are practicing the way. It's that powerful. Think about it. You see, the Buddha is opening our eyes, and listen, it's a big wide world out there, and people actually, the people with blessings are actually practicing Buddhism. All right? And that comes from the Buddha. Buddha never lies. Okay? And so another way to explain it is the first turning reveals that of seeing the way. Second turning teaches us to practice the way. The third turning, it says there is a path of no more learning. Okay? You made it. You open your wisdom. Okay, and there it's called 3 turning and 12 practices of the Dharma wheel. Okay, the 4 noble truths are 4 of them, right? And there are 3 turnings. So 3 times 4 is 12 practices. Is it clear? First practice is the first 4 is to reveal. Next 4 is to exhort to practice. Next 4 is to say that I certify that it's doable. You can do it. Anyone can do it. All right? And he says, but these 3 turning and 12 practices. First turning, you give rise to wisdom eye and clear awakening. And Dhammaguptaka explained the 3 turning distinctly as it was explained separately. Got that? You might be wondering what Dhammaguptaka is, who that person is. And I did some research for you. I didn't know either until last night when I was preparing for today's lecture. Okay? And so it's about a reference about the 3 turning and 12 practices in Chinese sources. I intentionally didn't explain it because I want you to learn Chinese and eventually find out for yourself. Okay, and this is where our wisdom, the base of our wisdom, comes from. And furthermore, from the Buddhist dictionary, the Phổ Quang Shan dictionary, the Dhammaguptaka is Thản Wu Te, okay, and it's also Also in Pali, you might hear Dhammagutta, Dhammaguttatthaka, Dhammaguttika, and so forth. Okay, so now you know, you heard it. Okay, this person here is famous, honorable, venerable master. See his Sanskrit name, Dhammaguptaka. In Pali appears Dhammagutta, Dhammaguttaka, Dhammaguttika. Is regarded as the founder of the Dhammaguptaka school, of one of the 20 early Buddhist schools of the Hinayana tradition. Okay, wait, don't hold on. Okay, don't, no objection here. His name also appears in various forms, such as it's translated into Chinese as Dharma upright, Dharma mirror, Dharma treasury, Dharma protector, Dharma secret. So apparently, when in the Indians, when they name you, they cannot decide which names to choose. So the Sanskrit name has many, many meanings just in case. So one day you could be Dharma upright, so you speak Dharma in a very upright, adorned way, like today for me. And next thing, you could be a Dharma mirror, Dharma treasury, okay, Dharma protector, and the Dharma secret. Isn't that cool? So the Indians have so many faces. Okay, he's one of the 5 main disciples, Upagupta, the 5th heir in the transmission of Dharma treasury about 100 years after Buddha's nirvana. So it tells you here, in the lineage of the Buddha disciples, there are clear succession of worthy ones, of people who have attained a sagehood and have been certified from a lineage of the Buddha, who certified the first one, and they're certified the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You see that? So this is very important for you to know, meaning that these people have the proper knowledge. You can trust them, all right? Because they repeat the Buddha's teachings. So this is a long time ago in India, 100 years after the Buddha's nirvana, which is about 3,000 years ago. It's also another name for your reference, the 4-part Vinaya. Okay, the 4-part Vinaya is, what's the Chinese? I forgot. 4-part Vinaya is Su... Sama. Su Fen Lu. Su Fen Lu. Okay, that's an important name for you to remember. This is the source, the main reference materials in our Buddhism about the rules of morality. So if you want to know about the code of conduct, the code of morality in Buddhism, it's right there. Okay. That's the core teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha taught that. All right? So very good reference for you. Okay, in the future, we are new, so we don't have a lot of time to learn the Vinaya, as I said, long time ago, 20 years ago, I started already. I said, in the future, I'd like to send my disciples to go to Taiwan to learn about the Vinaya and bring them back here. Okay? Because it's a core teaching. So far, Master Shua and myself, we know that we don't have this kind of time, we don't have the kind of support, okay, to be able to have the facilities and dedicate people to studying the Vinaya. Okay, this is very, very interesting, let me tell you. I studied for a very short period. I loved it. It's so fascinating. The Buddha's insights, the Buddha's wisdom is incredible. Okay, so I enjoyed it so much. I really loved it. Okay, and had to give up because you only like it for yourself. No one knows. No one knows what you do. So in Taiwan, in the old countries, they revere such monks and nuns who study Vinaya. That's all they do. They said, this is the core Buddha teaching, the foundation of Buddhist practices. Therefore, the lay people would come and support these people, these temples and so forth. Okay, they realize that's a very important part of the treasure of Buddhism. Okay, the Sư Phân Lü, the 4-part Vinaya. And the people who study it, and so in Taiwan, for example, the temples, the only thing they do is study this. And people will come and make offerings and support the temple unconditionally. Okay, and that's wisdom. But here in the U.S. we don't have that, because in the U.S. we are more worried about tariffs and so forth. And therefore, Larry, what is his name? Epstein. Okay, and so who has time to take care of the 4-part Vinaya? So Thản Ngũ Tự, Thản Một Chịu Đua, Dharma Upright, Dharma Protect Our Mirror. Okay. In this sutra, it says, the Buddha says, after my nirvana, there will be disciples who receive and uphold the 5 divisions of Scripture, meaning that the Buddhist teachings, okay, they're divided into 12 different divisions. That's just another jargon for your reference, so that you won't be taken aback when you hear these terms in English, okay? Shu Er Bu in Chinese, okay, if you want to curious. What's in Korean? Shu Er Bu. 12 divisions. You should know a few of these the jargons, because it shows it demonstrates your breathing and your core, your foundation. Shu Er Bu, 12 divisions. Bu, very simple. Bu is divisions. There you go. Did she say? Is it right? Sangwok Sinim? Okay. So the 12 divisions of Scriptures, they will write them down, read and recite them, but they will misunderstand the meaning and teach them incorrectly. By explaining the Dharma in an inverted way, they will cover the Dharma treasury. Meaning in the future, like our times. Okay? A lot of monks and nuns, they study this, but they don't quite understand the meaning, and therefore they teach them incorrectly. This is happening right now, folks. This is a scary part of it. The Buddha says it. He says, the Buddha uses Buddha eyes, say in the future, this is going to happen. It's happening right now. I used to listen to, for example, some Vietnamese monks who are known to be specialists in Vinaya, and they're don't know what they're talking about, let me tell you. I studied only for months, and they investigate the Dharma for decades. They still don't get it. The Buddha said it already. They misunderstand the meaning and teach them incorrectly. That's what happened. It's very scary. And by explaining the Dharma in an inverted way, they cover up the Dharma treasury, meaning that it's happening, and that's for the Dharma treasure, the Buddhist treasures, is being covered up, being hidden. And what a shame. It's a serious offense if you're a monk and nun, and that's what you do for the sake of living, and you try to position yourself as Vinaya specialist, but you don't understand anything, you teach the wrong things, you're going to go to hell, for sure. Okay? It's very, very scary. They concealing a Dharma, and therefore they're called Dharma Gupta. And this guy is Dharma Guptaka, so it's not quite the same thing, okay? Yeah. The meaning covering, he's covering the Dharma, never mind. Okay, and next one, when the Vinaya is collected, so at first the Buddhist teaching was transmitted verbally, orally, and then when the Vinaya was collected, Upali recited the fundamental Vinaya rules in 80 recitations. And this became the 80 recitation Vinaya. So we Buddhists should know a little bit about this history of Buddhism, how it came about, how it got transmitted to us. Through later transmission and development, Dharmaguptaka compiled and established Vinaya lineage based on this tradition, known as Dharmaguptaka school or Dharma Treasury school. And what they transmit to us nowadays is called 4-part Vinaya, 四分律, okay, or one of the 5 Vinayas. And so this is the background information behind it. Now you know. Okay? This is part of our history. You should be aware of that. All right. Great Thousand is another jargon. It refers to the Saha world. The Saha world is the 3,000 Great Thousand worlds. Is the full name for it. 3,000 Great Thousand world. Okay? And they shorten it to Great Thousand. Okay? So each, by the way, for your reference, for your information, each galaxy, each world, each Buddha land is called 3,000 Great Thousand worlds. For example, our Saha world is called, is one world and has 3,000 Great Thousand worlds. All right? It's a lot of, it's huge. And that's just one galaxy in the entire universe. So you can imagine the universe, how big it is. It's infinite, if you will. So, and Buddha knows everything that happens in the universe. Think about it. That's how vast his wisdom is. Okay? I'm telling you that because I want you to open your mind. Okay? Don't be so small-minded and think that, you're only preoccupying yourself with the small things. I want you to think bigger. Is that clear? I know for you mortals, you only some of you are thinking big. And when I was younger, in my generation, we have to be successful. We have to be overachievers, and the standard is you have to become a minister. Anything below that would be a failure. Minister of transportation, minister of war, minister of eviction, okay, whatever, okay? You have to be a minister. And that's big thinking. Really? Look at Buddhism. It's a day and night. Yeah, cool. So that's why this sutra lecture is very important for you, because it helps you open your mind, open up. Okay, don't be so myopic and think that that you don't understand. You don't have a big. You need to have a big picture. Cannot think so small. Okay, dokie. The wheel itself is fundamentally always pure. So pure refers here as lacking in delusion of views and thoughts. Your delusions, our delusions, okay, can be categorized as 2 types, views and thoughts. So to the Tien Thai school scholars, they classify our delusions of view delusion into 88 view delusions. So they spell it out for us. And then about thought delusions, they say there are about 81 thought delusions. So 81 or 88. Either of the two, I usually swap. I'm dyslexic. So sometimes I swap the numbers, okay, 1 and 8. So the point here is that the Tien Thai school, they're very detailed. They list it out, that list, so meaning that for you to open your wisdom, you need to get rid of all these 80 plus types of delusions. It's that detail. It's kind of cool. Okay? But it's not necessary. You don't need to know that kind of thing. Okay? That's too detailed, and you get lost in the forest. We just want to recognize the Tien Thai school and appreciate the level of details they provide in analyzing the nature of our delusions, our confusions. But in order to undo our delusion, confusion, we don't need to have this kind of level of details. That's too much, okay? Too much for us. Furthermore, it explains the Four Noble Truths I've spoken, I describe what you describe. Indescribable means ultimate truth, meaning what? Indescribable because it cannot be expressed in words, into words. Or there's not enough words, enough time to explain to you, to exhaustively describe everything. You die before that happens. Or when I die before that happens. Or we both die before that happens. Okay? And yet it described. It described why? It described because it's like, because you don't need to know everything. You only need to know what you need to know to escape your suffering, to end your suffering. Okay? So the emphasis is not about knowledge for the sake of knowledge. The emphasis is about knowing how to end your suffering. All right? That's what is explained to you, described to you, how to end the suffering. All right? And with that, it's like obtaining true and real knowledge and views. Any questions? With the gods and humans attain the ways as proof, the triple jewels thus appeared in the world.
天人得到此为证，三宝于是现世间。
Okay. 505. There, at the assembly when the Buddha was lecturing on this sutra, Vimalakirti Sutra, there are 84,000 celestial beings, meaning most of them are big shots. When Buddha spoke Dharma, all these big shots would come and listen from the heavens. They come down from heavens to listen to the Buddha's lectures. Okay, there are 84,000 of them, most of which are God kings, God queens, and so forth. So far, so good. And humans, humans, of course, one of Buddha's main job is to help us humans. Because why? Because humans are in the best position to greatly benefit. They can benefit the most of the Buddha's teachings. Okay? Why? Here's the difference. God, they have so many heavenly blessings. The nature, the God existence is to enjoy the heavenly blessings. That's why they're up there. You got that? You know, like Daniel. What happened to Daniel and the wise girlfriend? Not here. Okay. That's why he needs to be here. He's not here. Okay. Yes. So the gods, the reason you born the gods in the gods realm in the heavens is because you have this desire to enjoy yourself. Need I say more? Okay? One of my disciples, Vietnamese, she wanted to, this is a long time ago, she wanted to shave her head. Okay? He says, this is what I wanted to do. She didn't realize then she had depression, so she's running away from home, that's all. And she said, yeah, I want to shave my head and so forth. And the dad says, so, her dad, she really looked, whom she really looked up to, he says, you don't know how difficult it is for me, how many sacrifices I needed to make in order to bring you from Vietnam to America. And I didn't bring you here for you to shave your head and suffer. So no, you cannot shave your head. Isn't that interesting? And so for many Vietnamese, in my generation, or in many Vietnamese, they came to America as like a land of pleasure, of like the heavens for us. Not for Chung. Chung was born here, weren't you? Born here? You weren't born here. So you look at this as the land of like heavens too. Okay, never mind. Okay, so what happened is that, the kind of mindset that to me is interesting, that to go from one country to the U.S. is like going to heaven, so you're going to enjoy yourself when you're here. You're going to enjoy life. Okay, same thing, the same kind of mindset that for many of us, my father included, my late father included, they want to go to the heavens to enjoy themselves. That's why Daniel will go to heaven, like I said last night, because he wants to be near his God. Okay, so this desire to enjoy yourself, okay, tends to bring you to the heavens. That's why you become born in the heavens, you become a celestial being. What about humans? When you go up to the heavens, you remember your original purpose is to enjoy yourself. Therefore, you cannot cultivate. It's very hard for you to cultivate. Because remember, your premise is to enjoy yourself. Cultivation is what? Sound depressing. Suffering. Is that what you said? Okay? Cultivation is a lot of suffering. It takes your suffering to end more suffering. It takes literal suffering to end more suffering, if you will. Yes, Vietnamese born not in the U.S.
Master, typically when we talk about the heavens, it's a higher plane than Earth.
Yes.
But in the way you describe it now, it makes more sense to me that the Earth is a higher plane because the Earth provides you with the suffering for your enlightenment, whereas the heavens does not, if it's just joy.
It's not a higher plane. The higher plane is not the way you define it. Higher plane is you're born in heaven because your heart is filled with wholesomeness. You're born in humans, look at them. Excuse me. Look at her. Oh, never mind. Look at Mama, she doesn't understand. It's okay. Look at Mama. Okay? You're born humans because it's like boba tea. Half boba, half milk tea. It's half and half. Okay? So half wholesome, half unwholesome. That's the human realm, if you will, on the average. So far, so good. So in the heavens, you enjoy yourself. You enjoy everything. Life is so good for you. All right? If it's that good, it's because you're there to enjoy it. those things, those privileges. When you're born in the human realm, okay, the objective is that you don't have access to all these privileges, at least if you're not American. Never mind. Okay, so it's half and half. You have privileges, but also you have disadvantages as well. So far, so good. So the nature, human realm, is lower than a God's realm because it's 100% good. Down here it's 50-50. All right? And remember, cultivation requires you to endure suffering. You need to look at your suffering, and just like the Buddha showed it, demonstrated it, in order to cultivate, you have to say, I'm suffering. I want to put an end to this. If there are people who says, I'm not suffering, I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm powerful, I am famous, I have a wife who we're happy together. After I divorced my first wife, now I'm happy with my second wife. Okay, they're happy. They have all these privileges. They're not going to be able to cultivate. Cultivation is like the Buddha. Doesn't matter who you are, you're privileged or not, but you have this inner, this drive to say, I'm suffering, I need to end this suffering. Because no amount of money, no amount of pleasure, no amount of love, no amount of children can put an end to my suffering. That's not the way to go. For me to put the end to my suffering, I need to cultivate. Okay? So that's why Buddha, he says, what's the maximum effect for me? He can go to the heavens. If he goes to heavens, what will happen to him? Enjoy himself. Because there's nothing to do. You only enjoy yourself. You don't have to go to work. You have musicians who entertain you for free. You know that? You didn't know that. Never mind. You eat French food at will. You don't have to pay. Think about it. Well, healthy food for Jesse. Jesse's, I don't care for French food, I want healthy food, wholesome food. Okay? Whatever you want to eat, you can eat and you don't have to pay. That's why it's called heavenly blessings. So if the Buddha or himself is born up there, he cannot cultivate himself either. There's no suffering. There's no motivation for him to cultivate. So that's how Buddha had to go to the human realm. And therefore you cannot say the human realm is higher fear. Human realm is lower fear, but better for cultivation. All right. And here, talked about 5 humans, meaning 5 attendants. The Buddha has 5 personal servants because he was a crown prince. And those 5 were the first one to become enlightened from the Buddha's sermons. Okay? All right. So far, so good. And there's some details. Some claim that only one became enlightened, Ashnata Kondinya, the other 4 are not. That's what I read as well. And some other scriptures, which I didn't read, claim that they all got enlightened. It's not that important. It's about your enlightenment, not them enlightenment. What you learn from here is that the proof is that there's evidence that people, humans, practice the Buddha way and they became enlightened. That's a more important point. And also slide 506 is also very, very important. This is distinctive characteristic of Buddhism. Buddhist teaching has proven results, whereas the externalist teachings, and they tend to advance theories because they're smart, they have wisdom, they advance a lot of theories, but it's not proven. This is very, very important distinction, okay? In the same spirit, okay? This is also not just Indian Buddhist, but also American. We deliver, we don't talk, okay? You don't deliver, you have no right to live in America, okay? Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. Regarding the Buddhist disciples that were with him and they reached enlightenment, are they talking about 4th stage Arhat?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them is a 4th stage Arhat.
4th stage Arhat. In general...
Actually, Hinayana is 1st stage Arhat. Oh. Ashnata Kondinya, according to the scriptures, Ashnata Kondinya is a guy who's kind of blind. Okay, and he heard the Buddha's sermon, he certified the 1st stage Arhat when he heard the concept of guess dust. According to Hinayana standards, 1st stage Arhat is sagehood. That's why he became enlightened for them. And a week later, maybe 3 months later, he listened to the rest of the sermon, the other sermons, he certified to 4th stage Arhat. So it's a matter of weeks or months that he's certified to 4th stage Arhat. Okay? That's how powerful the Buddha was. Okay? All right, so this is a very important distinction in Buddhism. That is, because I listen to a lot of non-Buddhist teachers, and they have very interesting theories. Yeah, they're very much like the scholars, the professors. They came up with different theories, and they sound very good, but it's unproven. Like Einstein, E equals mc2 squared, was unproven for 30 or 40 years. In Buddhism, we have proof in you. It's not about Buddha anymore, it's about you. About us. So that's why this morning we have people, last night we have people who talk about what they went through in terms of cultivation. That is certification right there. His testimonials are very, very important. I really appreciate it. Yes, 3.
Master, earlier you mentioned about thinking big. So I realize when I'm here and you talk about it, it sounds good. But once I go back to my room, I don't know how to think big anymore. Like, what do you mean by thinking big? So like when people come here and listen, you feel positive, but then when they go home, they feel they have to deal with life, their family, and then it's a lot. So how do they think big?
Someone help me out. How do you think big? I don't know. To me, it's natural. I only think big, I never think small. So it's hard for me to explain to you. I don't even know what small is. I mean, there's a difference between big and poor, okay? But even no matter how poor I am, I still think big. Yes, 9.
At a high level, I think about how can technology benefit others by helping them encounter the Dharma.
Okay. Very good. DDT?
I think Master used to teach us just don't ever think we have done enough. Just think what else we can do at our level. Help more, think slightly bigger. It's a process.
And that's thinking big?
It's a process to get there. I can't start I'm small now. I can't get there right away, but just think bigger, one step at a time, think what else I can do to help.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
And that's gradual thinking big. I'm more sudden thinking big. Yes, go for it. What's thinking big?
I really appreciate the question. Thank you, Venerable Xianshun. I also have this question. But just to kind of give a try at answering it, I think big is starting with not thinking small, like thinking about myself all the time.
Very
That's
good.
my personal struggle.
So one says, don't think small. Okay, the other one says, think small, but think a little bit as bigger. Yes, go for us.
Is the motivation of thinking big from developing great compassion?
Great compassion, great, sounds great. Yeah. Okay, very good. What's thinking big? Very simple. Thinking small is to benefit yourself. That's small. You're so small. Everything you do every day is think, what do I get out of this? I don't like this, I don't like that. Okay? It's always you. That's small thinking. Anyone guilty of it? Because I cannot tell looking at your faces. Okay? If you only are preoccupied with yourselves, your wants, your desires, that's thinking very, very small. So small. I told you, someone I know, his dream is to become a minister. That's so small. Minister of a country, that's so small. Okay? And they call it being an overachiever. All these people are so small. And what's thinking big then? Anyone? Yes, and I'm.
Thank you, Master. Are you looking for a specific thought?
You could say that.
Okay, I think I've raised this previously, but I was recently talking about it with Master X. So I know everyone here is using ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Like I had very long conversations with ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
It talks back to me. It gives me ideas. It says hey, here's 4 steps to achieve what you'd like to do. Would you like me to tell you what they are?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I would, ChatGPT. Who wouldn't?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into the trees of the forest and you're like, this is harder than I thought, but that's okay. At least it's giving me a path.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to develop Chan GPT.
That's big, okay.
And and why I think it's particularly big is because we can read books and listen to recordings of Chan masters who are no longer with us. But how many opportunities do we have in multiple lifetimes to develop an LLM while the Chan master can ask himself the questions and verify if it's good for future generations?
That's big. Yes, DTT, very good. Technology and big.
Thinking big to me is no discrimination and want to help all beings.
All beings. Sounds good to me. What do you think? Can you add to it? See, Mama agrees, therefore it must be true. The first step is stop thinking of yourself. Okay, because we're so preoccupied with ourselves. The moment you stop thinking of yourself, meaning there's no self, then what are you going to do with your life? If you only stop thinking of yourself, of no self, then it's not big, is it? Big here refers to big wisdom. How do I benefit more and more people? Okay? For example, just because we are poor, we don't have resources, it doesn't stop me from daydreaming. That I know we're limited. We only have so many resources. But my dream has always been to think very big, meaning that in the future, my disciples will become famous and rich. I don't need to anymore. It's too late. You see? So you go beyond yourself and you benefit more and more people. And more and more and more. So the vision of the Buddha is I will benefit all living beings. All of them. Just because you have limitations right now, that should not deter you from planning to do that when you can. All right? So maybe another way to look at it is ask yourself, okay, the person in this community there, okay, do you think bigger than the other person? And you're bound to find someone who thinks bigger than you. All right. Going back to slide 506. This is very important. In Buddhism, we speak from empirical evidence, from results. We don't overpromise. We don't sell the moon. Okay? We deliver. So the job of the cultivator, the teachers, is to deliver. No excuses. All right? That's the standards. And we need to help others attain the way. That's Mahayana standard. That's thinking big. The triple jewels thus appeared in the world. And here I find that maybe the Tien Tai school is way too scholarly. Okay? But it's we need to learn to appreciate how sophisticated their thinking is. So it doesn't hurt for us to be exposed to this, to be more humble and to understand that what we teaching you here is it's through a simplification process but there's still a lot of stuff left for you to investigate further. So don't get a big head and think you know everything. Yes, DTT.
Master, I have a question about don't think too much about myself. Recently, I've been thinking about joining the board of my school that my son goes to, because I think I have the skills to help. And I think I probably will be able to add a lot of value to the school. But I'm hesitating because I feel the title of a board director, being already a very arrogant person, I'm drawing more attention to myself. I don't know if I don't, I mean, I think it's thinking small for myself, but I don't know if I can handle, if it's causing more trouble for my trying to subdue my own arrogance, and also being a mom of an unruly kid, I'm also attracting more attention to myself in that community. I think I'm being too small and thinking too much for myself versus my original intention is just to help the school. But also, I don't know if, so I think I should join the board if I think I can add value and help, and just ignore all that and deal with that, the consequence later.
Very good. You see, it's good to speak up and share your thoughts and so forth. So what do you think, the rest of you? Yes, 8.
I think it's a great idea because I think you speak very well for yourself, and you would be a great promoter for the school, and you would draw more people and interested parents to the school because you're developing other parts of yourself that are quite endearing, and obviously you're already a hard worker. So there you go. Anyone else? Yes, 3.
What I'm hearing is she's asking if she should focus on the worldly side or focus on opening her wisdom.
I don't know how she heard it, but that's good. Anyone else? Baseball man. Nothing more American than baseball, isn't it?
I was going to say basketball, but then it's just into the National Betting Association recently. Maybe that's the most American. I don't know. Surely I would encourage you to contemplate, are you doing this for yourself, for your son, or beyond that?
Big thinking. Are you a big thinker or a small thinker? Very good. Anyone else? This woman here has a problem. Hey, she's going to ask me. I was perfectly happy talking your sutras, okay? She's going to open this can of worms. And who am I? If I ignore that, I'm being like I'm pretending, okay? I'm just trying to play it safe. No, it's not me. I don't play safe. Thank you. She has too much time. She's thinking too much. For us real people, we say, hey, I don't have time. You think about 1 minute and that's it. That's all the time you have. You have to go do something. She sits there and says, I don't know. It's a small thinking or big thinking. And if I do it, what's going to happen to me? Oh my God. Yeah. How can you live like this? Huh? You keep on analyzing. How about just forget about big and small for a while, for a moment? Because you're going to something pretty damn small. So who cares? The big or small is irrelevant, okay? It's such a small thing, small world. Disneyland, yeah? Okay? So it doesn't matter. It's just a small thing, so it's just do you feel like it because it won't take that much out of you anyway. It's a small thing. It's a small, small world. Okay? This is a sickness. You analyze too much. My God. And you go home, my husband asks, how you, honey? He said, let me think. I think that's how she operates. She said, what's the best answer for him?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Just enjoy yourself. You know, just be spontaneous. Yeah, we goof up and we make mistakes, but so what? Huh? Don't take yourself so seriously. Don't take it so seriously. Okay? That's not thinking small. Part of not thinking small is not to take yourself too seriously. Okay? So just if you feel like, you feel like doing it, give it a try. Why not? And you may like it, you may not like it. You may encounter these people who have nothing to do like you, okay? And the snotty people, and the main thing they do, I don't know if you understand, the board directors, to me, the most important job you have to do in order to be a member of the board is what?
Fundraising.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't matter anything else. Nothing else is that important to the school. Let's face it, okay? It's money, 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 money. Okay? And do if that interests you. Yes, 8.
Many moons ago, I did something just for fun because I didn't know what I was going to do with myself after my kids got older. So I decided to join the board. I was on the board of directors of the Graphic Arts Council of the LA County Museum. And big job, just go ahead and figure out how to make money. So, and then we got to visit all these real rich people's homes and look at all their art, which was phenomenal. And but it was fun. I learned about raising money, and we were able to buy some more art pieces for the collection. But it was cool, and you might be able to develop some more skills that you can then bring to DTT and BLI and all that sort of good stuff. So and meet more people and help your son.
And she's going to ask you, is it thinking small or thinking big? Okay, thank you, everyone. So going back to slide 507, it says here that it's interesting point here. They're so wordy, very wordy, these Tiantai people. What interests me here is that the Buddha Dharma has cycles. When before Shakyamuni Buddha, there was Buddha Kashyapa, and Kashyapa, after he died, the Buddha Dharma was obscured. Okay, and then the next Buddha would come around, and then we'll reinvigorate Buddha Dharma again. So the nature of life is as ups and downs, including Buddha Dharma. The point being what? Relax, man. Enjoy yourself. Try your best and don't worry so much. Don't be so obsessed about big and small anymore. Big and small is just a sales pitch. Just relax. Huh? Give it your best shot. All right? And accept failure, accept success. Failure is all the same. Give it a try. Don't be so serious, like Shirley. Okay? All right. A few more minutes. With this wondrous Dharma, the Buddha rescues living beings who, upon receiving it, will attain non-regression and eternal stillness.
以思妙法济群生，一受不退，常即然。
509 is this wondrous Dharma, the wonderful Dharma that will do wonders for you. And it's what every single Buddha who appears in the world, everywhere in the world, in the universe, will bring along this wonderful gift to the world. Upon receiving it, the world, the people in that world will attain non-regression and eternal stillness. Here, he says, it's kind of interesting how he defines non-regression, these Tiantai people. He says, when you see the noble truth, you will never regress. Does it make sense to you? You never regress when you hear, when you see the noble truth. What does it mean, see noble truth? 诸见圣地永不退失. Okay, this is it sounds casual, but in Chinese it's very precise. Unfortunately, when it's translated into English, it doesn't sound as precise. But in Chinese, there's a jargon here. 见圣地, you see the sagely truth. Meaning what? I'm sorry, the translation, I should have corrected it. You can see the sagely principle, the sagely truth. What does it imply? You're enlightened. Is that clear? So to see the noble truth and for never regress is not a good translation. It's corrected to see, who initial sees, who can first see. Corrected. Who can first see the sagely truth, no longer regresses. That's a much better translation. And it's very important point here, folks. Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, so he says, this is a progression. He says, this is very important for you to keep in mind. The teaching here is very true. It says, if you can first see the sagely truth, you will no longer regress. Meaning, if once you become enlightened, you will never regress. Is that clear? Furthermore, in the future, if worldly wisdom is cut off, it will arise again when conditions permit. And that is the definition of non-regression. Isn't that cool? Meaning once you enlighten, you never lose that, ever. Doesn't matter how many lifetimes and so forth you have to undergo later in the future. Once you become enlightened, you will always be enlightened in the future lives. And that's when you guys turn to your neighbor and do a high five or chest bump. See? Instead of pointing your finger, no, you. Okay? This is cause for celebration, folks. Okay? Even now, once you become enlightened, doesn't matter. Eventually, conditions will arise that will help you reach that level of enlightenment again. Guaranteed. Isn't that cool? So, temporarily, you may have some obstructions, but they cannot stop you forever. Nothing. Your enlightenment is never a lost cause. Never. That's why it's called non-regression. You can lose your fame, you can lose your notoriety, you can lose your wealth, especially in today's stock markets. I'm depressed. Anyway, do you have Amazon shares, Peter? I only have 100 shares, and I can't sleep.
It's just the beginning of the AI trade, Master. Just strap in.
I'm too old to wait for decades.
No. Give it 2 years. It's just a roller coaster ride.
No one. He's really a true Amazon soldier. I think you should have cut off this video and send it to your boss. Anyway, isn't it cool? It's so cool that the thing we're trying to help you get there. First stage hardship, you never lose it. So when you get higher and higher, you will always get it again. No one can take it away from you, ever. Yes, in the back.
Master, does it mean that those who attain to the position this lifetime and then they left the temple, but they undergo obstruction later on, they can recover of what they have before once the obstruction is removed?
Yeah, but doesn't mean this lifetime. Careful, huh? Doesn't mean while Master is alive. Ooh, how mean! Yes, not.
So to your question, Master, what I'm hearing is non-regression based on enlightenment is like non-regression based on stock buybacks. Even if the stock goes down, they're still going to buy it back. That's why the 15% annual return is always the target. Even when you get enlightened and it pauses for a minute, when conditions permit, it will arise again.
That's correct.
Thank you, Master.
I fail to get the analogy. Because if I say I get it, then you accuse me of not doing.
This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm only drawing a parallel between non-regression, having achieved enlightenment, and stock buybacks being the yo-yo going upstairs.
I see. Okay.
Thank
You guys prefer stock analogy or sports analogies? Neither. Yes, 6.
Master, does it mean that when we are not enlightened, we cannot see the sagely truth?
No guarantee you can see it again.
When
you've seen the sagely truth, you guarantee to see it again. That's why it's called non-regression.
Yes. So
that's a standard now for you. I mean, it's natural for you. This is what you expect going forth. Nothing less will suffice. Nothing less will do. And that's part of thinking big. Okay? You can't think of only this lifetime, but what about future lifetimes? If you think big in terms of future lifetime in a longer timeline, then you want definitely want to get enlightened. Then your meeting, encountering the Dharma has not been in vain.
Yeah. Before getting enlightened, when we read the sagely truth, I can understand, and at this time, what should I do? Just wait and cultivate, or try hard, or make some effort to understand? Or
it takes time. It's a matter of time. That's all. You can't worry too much about it, because look around you. People got there. Many people got there, and in time you will get there. Simple as that. It's hard work, and the only it takes is not to quit. No matter how hard it is, don't quit. Then you get there. All right, go for it.
Master, just kind of discussion on the Chinese. Did you say the definition of enlightenment is the worldly wisdom cut off?
No. Enlightenment is very clear in Buddhism. Enlightenment, for the sake of simplicity, enlightenment is first stage arhatship. Okay? This is the standard. You're enlightened because when I said you're first stage arhatship, you're enlightened. Period. However, I raise the stakes for you. I want you to think bigger, because this is what the Hinayana people think. They say, enlightenment, I'm enlightened, and that's it. At first stage arhatship, I'm enlightened. I can take a break. I can goof off now. I want to raise the stakes for you. I want you to think of enlightenment as fourth stage arhat, because it's much more demanding than first stage arhat. If you encounter the American Mahayana this lifetime, and you don't get to fourth stage arhatship, it's a shame. Because many of you have already. I'm talking about people who don't even think big. Okay? And why? It's because the special program, special community we have here is the proof. Somehow it happened. I don't know why and how, but it just happens. Maybe we're lucky. Maybe many of us, most of us are lucky. I have no idea. But it just happens. And that's why the rule of thumb is very simple. Follow the rules and don't quit. That's it. No matter how hard it is, you don't quit. And your time will come. I'm waiting. All right, no time to, we can't finish the next point, eternal stillness, because we go on and on and on. Okay, so thank you. We stop here, and we'll see you next time. Drive safe. It's kind of wet outside.